Hi, my name is Garcia. I'm the founder and director of the Long Haul Walk. The idea for this came quite a few years ago, but it actually started December 2011 and became a charity about a year ago. We're a water and sanitation charity working in sub-Saharan Africa. And the reason for our existence, there's a lot of statistics, I'm sure you've all heard it before, we've seen a lot of things on television. For me, it was living in certain countries and seeing certain aspects, and coming back to the UK in 2011 and thinking, something I could do about this. Now at the time I had absolutely no background in international development, so as the name may lead you to believe, lead you to see, I'm doing something slightly more physical than academic. Set off in about 6 months' time on the Long Haul Walk, walking from Sheffield to Cape Town. It crosses through 16 countries. It's 10,000 miles. It's going to take about a year and a half if I'm lucky, if I don't catch any of the inevitable diseases, get promoted and robbed, which will happen at some point. But it's all very positive. It is a funds and awareness raising hike, and it is a stunt. There is, there's no lie about that. There's nothing hidden about that. But where it started as a stunt, actually, seriously. Now it's kind of expanded. The aims in the UK and Sheffield. We want to raise awareness of the issues, water sanitation, poverty issues in sub-Saharan Africa. We want to raise funds for projects in each of the 11 countries we're now working in. I want to do all this open, so to share information, projects, ideas, processes with our partners in the UK. So actually share an office with another international development water and sanitation charity who could be competitive. We share all our information. Just trying to do it positively. And to follow that up, we've now ended up going from, 2 years ago, does anybody know the Bruges shipyard down on Abdel Road? I had a little back room there, was my office for 6 months. And that's how it started. One person in a little office. We now have 3 full-time volunteers. Everybody is a volunteer, with 10 part-time volunteers working out of an office in Sheffield to do all this. And that's all the Western fundraising, awareness raising. When we get to sub-Saharan Africa, we're working, as I say, in 11 different countries and committing 100% of all of the public donations we receive to these community projects. So how do we do this? We work with tiny partner organisations in each of the countries. So it could be a school, it could be an orphanage, it could be a widow's project, it could be an animal rearing project, anything that a local organisation is doing to develop their own community and to do it sustainably. So we work with this tiny organisation. We're talking maybe 3 people, maybe just a teacher. So the reason for that is, at that point, it's us raising money, talking to one person on the ground, supporting their own community. There's no chance of corruption, there's no chance of money going missing. If we trust that person, we work with that person. And it's taken this long only to develop our first project. I actually finished it about 3 months ago, after going for 2 years. We build up trust with small, tiny organisations who are trying to develop their community. Anyway, so through that, through the partner organisation which is local to their community, we start working with them to develop a project. And we now get a community committee made up of women, men, completely gender equal, which actually in certain times, certain areas, gives women their first opportunity in a position of power or responsibility. So it's a big step forward, and one thing that people don't really realise when you talk about water, you think drinking, you think maybe agriculture, but there's so many other spin-offs. So with this organisation, we work in the community to do 2 things: to develop one project that the community will be able to manage, sustain, and carry on, and then develop the capacity of that partner organisation, like we said, a school, an orphanage, whatever it may be, to develop further simple water and sanitation projects in the future. So we give them the tools that we have, the knowledge we have. Like I said, I had no experience of this 2 years ago. I've taught myself all of this, and to someone who's dedicated in their local community to learn the rather simple engineering skills behind some of the smaller water and sanitation projects that the smaller organisations need. It's possible, it's feasible, and it seems to be working. And again, we do all this transparently, like I say, sharing all the information that we've received from 11 different partner organisations, so all over sub-Saharan Africa. We're working with tiny organisations, and we share the information that they have between them. So what works in South Africa might work in Uganda. It might not work, it most likely won't work, but it's an idea to share. But anyway, so this is what we're doing. So I'll go back just to keep it nice and brief, because I realise I'm the last one. So the idea behind getting involved with the interior design guys is we have 2 different potential installations. So the walk sets off in 6 months, and through the UK, we're going to be doing, I think it's 11 or 12 different events, speaking engagements, public bits and bobs, where we're going to want some interesting, snazzy backdrops. I've tried to learn how to use this kind of snazzy PowerPoint thing. It's going all right, but to have something physical there, people will be able to identify water poverty in a positive way. There's so many charities that work on guilt donating, guilt fundraising, and it's effective, but it's not showing the positive work that can actually happen when people bring themselves to it. So a positive way, a physical installation to show different events throughout the UK, which has to then also fit in the back of a car or in the back of the van because someone's following it through the UK. And then, so that's one of the opportunities for installation. And then in sub-Saharan Africa and throughout all of this area, we're actually working with the TED Foundation, TED.com, TEDx. So we're hoping, working with them at the moment, to develop a TEDx in each of the countries en route, which will bring the partner organisations, so individuals from the partner organisations, individuals from the communities in which we've worked, come and give their stories to a global audience of almost, I think it's 250 million people who used or will use TED. So to bring these stories out, and unfortunately I'm walking, so I can't really carry anything with me, so we're looking for a digital installation that we can show at the beginning of a presentation to a global audience of hopefully a few million. But just to spread the word of the small communities and the people in those areas who are dedicated to developing their own communities. Anyway, thank you.